Welcome to the Botanical Garden. It's so good to see you. I got to say hi to some of you in person. Hi, hi, hi.
Hi, hi.
And you're all early and on time, which is amazing in Miami. Of course, we had to say 7 so that we could start now. Miami! I love you. Miami is the only city I know where you can walk into a meeting late with a grande, decaf, skinny, almond milk latte in your hand. And all you have to say is, traffic. And it's cool! I just dropped my pantomime latte. So be careful. It's pantomime wet here. And you don't want to say, I'm sorry, I'm late, there was traffic. No, you say, traffic. If you want, you can cock your head to the side a little bit, like that. All right? Traffic. And if you really want to, it's not necessary, but if you really want to, you can do a little nod, a little subtle nod.
Yeah, I know.
Traffic. Like that. But do not apologize and do not tell the story because nobody wants to hear it. Do not be the guy who says, oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened. The bridge keeper on the Brickell Bridge was on crack. I was driving my Mercedes and he pulled off the bridge while I was still on it. Oh my God, and I had to jump out and I had to hold on. Look, I have bridge wounds on my hands. I can barely hold my latte. Sit down. Shut up. Drink your grande, skinny, decaf, almond milk latte that you had time to stop for. And just be thankful you're not in New York. Because New York don't play that. No, you gotta watch the closing doors in New York, right? Single ladies, any single ladies? You want to put a ring on it? Don't be late. Do not be late for your wedding in New York. You've heard of the New York Minute? Do you know what that is, a New York Minute? That's how long it takes for the groom to be out the door and on the way to Fiji with the maid of honor in New York. You want to get married in New York? Don't stop for a latte. Gotta be on time in New York. I love New York. The New Yorkers here were on time, right?
Yes.
Yes! The greatest city in the world!
Yay!
It's really just a patchwork of ethnic ghettos. Like Miami, but with a greater diversity of people who don't speak English. They ask you, let me tell you, they ask you weird questions in New York. Like the weirdest question, anyone, is everyone okay? Can we get back to New York? Back to the present? The weirdest question anyone ever asked me was in New York. He goes, yo, Ralphy, come here. I'm gonna ask you something. You're white or Spanish? I said, come here, Guido. Take this here. It's a box of deluxe Crayolas. You open that and sit down and hold your breath. And hold it until you find a crayon called Spanish. Burnt sienna, cornflower, midnight blue. Those are colors. Spanish, not so much. Oh, let me tell you. I am that box of deluxe Crayolas. We talk about la convivencia and all people living together, and I've got genes from all kinds of places. My parents told me we were of Spanish descent, so I did a little digging. Turns out that peninsula there was everybody's favorite place to rape and pillage. There were the Iberians, the Celts, the Goths, the Visigoths. The Arabs, the Sephardic Jews, and maybe even the Gypsies are all in here. I got all those jeans, and guess what? None of them fit into my skinny jeans. Not a single one. Having fun yet? Yeah. We have a lot of people. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Carol's sending me a message. Hold on. It looks big because I'm small. Here we go. The Arts at St. John's. Carol wants me. Carol Hoffman. Carol Hoffman Guzman. Give it up. I know you can't see her right now, but you will see her. Please thank her for making these Convivencia events possible for all of us. The Arts at St. John's is supported in part by grants from the City of Miami Beach Cultural Affairs Program, Cultural Arts Council, Miami-Dade County Department of Cultural Affairs, the Cultural Affairs Council, Miami-Dade County Mayor and Board of County Commissioners, State of Florida Department of State, Division of Cultural Affairs, and the Florida Council on Arts and Culture, Florida Humanities Council, with funds from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Thank you. We also have some amazing and wonderful co-sponsors that we hope you will also support. The Betsy Hotel. The Miami Beach Botanical Garden. The Lubitz Financial Group. Come on. Come on. St. John's on the Lake. And the Miami Beach Jewish Community Center. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a great show for you tonight. The first person I'm going to introduce is a real friend of mine. We met the old-fashioned way in person. Then we became Facebook friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you now the pride of suburban Boynton, Mr. Brian Kirk.
Ralphy, I love this guy. What song is that? How am I being profiled? Is that Seinfeld? I'm the Christian comedian, not the Jewish comedian. I love Ralphie Love because I feel what was that? I'm the half Italian comedian, not the Cuban comedian. The sound guy is going to be funnier than anyone you see on stage with that music. It is great to be here. I love Ralphie. He makes me feel like a tall man. And I have so much affection for Gay Pitbull. I just think he is wonderful. And they call me Mr. 561 Countywide. And they don't call me Pitbull, they call me Westy because I'm white and not very effective. But it is an honor to be your alleged Christian comedian. I apologize that Carol managed to offend Jesus and comedy all in one poor decision. But she's been wonderful. I had no idea that the National Endowment for the Humanities was contributing. I feel like I just need to leave and return the check as a matter of principle, but we'll negotiate that after the show. I thank you. Folks, this is what happens when you drop out of Hair Club, Weight Watchers, and law school all in the same week. Stay in school. Sorry, this is someone professional. It's like I'm trying not to get paid. I'm chewing nicotine gum on stage. This is horrid. I'm from Ohio originally. We have some Buckeyes here doing. Where are you from? Columbus. I'm from Cleveland. Yeah. Yes, your neighbor up north, and it's really been fun living in Florida for the last 7 years. It's a culture shock. There's a lot of diversity down here that we didn't have in suburban Cleveland, Ohio. Where I'm from, you didn't need street smarts, you needed cul-de-sac courtesy. Hey, Bill, the lawn looks great. Yeah, that kind of stuff. For us, diversity was 3 different kinds of German luxury cars in the driveway. Yeah, it's an adjustment, I'll tell you, but I've eaten at the Polo Tropical. I saw Shakira live. It's been cool. Shakira, she sings that song about her hips not lying, but telling the truth, rather. Shakira, thank you. Shakira. Mr. 561. Cayocho. I have no idea what cayocho means, but it's fun to say. You may be thinking, boy, Mr. Amateur Hour with his set list up here. Well, imagine how bad it would be if it wasn't. Ralphy, you've met my wife, and she's my better half. She's a neat person. She's from Albania, so I've embraced diversity. She grew up under communism, folks. She came to America with $50 in her pocket and somehow managed to turn that $50 into an education and a great career and built a wonderful life for herself. I found $50 in my pocket once. I managed to turn that into Butterfinger wrappers and empty beer cans. So we're raising our daughters communist, needless to say. So having Obama in the White House has actually worked out pretty well for our family. Okay, La Convivencia. All right. I don't really think the president's a Marxist. He's a Muslim, but any Methodists in the house? Yeah, give it up for John and Charles Wesley. I was on Wikipedia, folks. Actually, I went to a Methodist school not far from Columbus, Ohio. I went to Ohio Wesleyan University, which was about as Methodist as Ralphy. But we had a good time, and I am a person of faith despite the fact that there's no evidence for that whatsoever in my life or how I treat people. But I do believe that prayer works, because every time I hear that there's a terror attack, I pray, God, please don't let it be a Methodist. It never is, Jamal. Where's Jamal? It's never a Methodist. Or a Mennonite. Just not. Some other damn religion. A buddy of mine once told me that, since some of you folks here probably have friends who are UCC. You know what UCC stands for? This is an old joke. Unitarians Considering Christ. Sorry. All right. I'll tone it down. I'll bring the edgy humor down. Obama was a member of a UCC church. You remember Reverend Wright and all that. I do feel sorry for Obama lately, though, because I do feel like he could get on TV right now and say, look, let me be clear. Sasha likes puppies, and Malia likes puppies, and Michelle and me like puppies, and anyone who hurts a puppy should go to jail. And 2 seconds later, Fox News will have a thing flashing on the screen. Obama says puppies should go to jail. The guy can't catch a break. Speaking of puppies, did you see that Pope Francis recently said that all dogs go to heaven? Now, Catholic theology is very complicated. I can only deduce that there will be a lot of allergy-suffering children burning in hell thanks to this new edict. It's like yin-yang kind of stuff, you know? Just got to work itself out. That was slick, huh? I just moved my phone off my set list for anyone who doesn't care. Have you seen these commercials for Serve Pro? Yeah, like it never even happened. That is a great slogan. And I've got to believe that the manufacturers of the morning after pill are so pissed that that was taken. Like it never even happened. Servepro.com for all your cleanup needs. Another commercial that I despise is SC Johnson, the maker of Ziploc bags and other home products. Their slogan is SC Johnson, a family company. They say that like it's a good thing. Have you ever worked for a family company? Yeah, I have. I worked for my father's business and my mother's, and I think a more appropriate, honest slogan would be SC Johnson. Shut up, Mom! I'm trying to write something down! Guess we have some public sector employees in the audience. But you know, the world is changing. It's getting more diverse. India is going to become, I think, the dominant economy moving forward, and that's a great thing. They're very friendly people. I think they're going to offshore a lot of their tech support calls, though, to us. Soon I'll be working at a call center in East Boynton. Thank you for calling Apple support. This is Rakesh. How may I help you? Some flustered Indian billionaire on the other line will be like, Rakesh, right. Give me your manager. Please hold.
Hello, this is Azim Nakuda. May I help you?
Oh, thank God. Finally someone I can understand. I have Indian next door neighbors, and I love them. They're so funny. My last name is Kirk, and this is like a leftover Cleveland thing where I feel the need to paint my garbage can, so no one steals my garbage can. So I sprayed K on a few different sides of my can.
Dude, you know I lived in Huntsville, Alabama for a while, okay? Is there something we should know?
My little boy, he's 2, he cries every time he sees our Indian neighbor.
He's like, why you cry, why you cry?
I'm like, he hates Indians. And you know, they've got a good sense of humor. I love that I can joke with them because I think that truly bridges gaps. And I guess I'm getting preachy and weepy now, but we were having a conversation outside with the folks from the South Beach TV network. I don't know if they're in here, but I think Dave Chappelle, who had a Comedy Central show, probably did more for race relations than anyone since Martin Luther King. I think it's really important to laugh at our differences, to make fun of our idiosyncrasies, because that's what brings barriers down. And I love that, you know, Ralphy and Jamal and Franny, that they all have a great sense of humor, and I wish they'd gone before me because I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to say about them had I gone after. How are we doing on time?
Next.
If I see a light or an angry woman with bullets around her neck rushing the stage, I'll stop. I have a few more things that I think are very important. One is, so I try to do the right thing. I am married for 14 years with 3 children, and I fail like any human does. I feel like because you're a lot of Methodists here, you're not going to judge me. I mean, what do I have to do, people? So the other day, I'm in this dimly lit private room with this very beautiful girl. I hand her $30. There's hip-hop music blaring in the background. She asked me to take off my shirt. I was embarrassed, but I complied. Then, I don't know if this is God's justice or what, but the next thing I know, she sticks a needle in my arm. Yeah, see, when you're 41 and you've been married for 14 years, a flu shot at Walgreens is an erotic experience. Folks, I want to thank you. You've been lovely. I'm getting strange hand signals, and I fear Carol's bullets. So thank you, and enjoy the better comedians. Ralphy, love, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my real friend. Not just on Facebook, that was disgusting, Brian Kirk! Due to the constraints of time, he did not have time to tell you that he has now developed a new program. It's called Scared Straight. He strips in front of young homosexual men, and that's it. It's over. Scared Straight. That's how it works. Love you, Brian. There is one person that we have yet to thank. I want you to know that 3 years ago, I gave up performing. And not long ago, I heard a voice, a distinctive voice, that could not be mistaken for anyone else's. It said, "Don't stop doing comedy." It was my beloved Joan Rivers.
Hey, Joan.
I promised I wasn't going to cry. I believe that those who are no longer physical continue to guide us, inspire us, and critique our wardrobe choices. What's that? Joan? She says, "The Donna Karan knockoff is all right, but Andrea Bocelli was a poor choice for a tailor." Thank you, Joan. That's gotta be her. That's her. That's her. You didn't get your tribute at the Oscars, Joan, but we're gonna give it to you here now. If you have a glass, you raise it to Joan. If you don't, do the Joan Ranger salute. Joan, you will live forever in our hearts. Forever. We love you. Oscars fan. Let's give you a salute. Joan Rivers! Oh my God. She's here with us forever. And now for another beautiful but much younger blonde who's had much less work. Now here's a person I've been Facebook friends with for years. And finally we get to meet. I want everyone to get a very, very warm welcome to the very beautiful and very talented Frankie Sheridan!
Musical vibrator. Oh, I didn't hear it. It wasn't this. Oh, there we are. Woo, dance break. Come on, let's get up. Let's. Woo. All right. Thank you. It's more control than I have in bed. So you're in a very exciting little crowd. You're but you're cute, you know, I mean, but as Hugh Hefner says, you know, there are no small crowds, only small breasts. So you're, you know, Ralphie, I don't know why we didn't let Lady Gaga open for us when she asked. And I really stuffed the place. But truly, I am so grateful to Carol and Ralphie and everyone who's created this to be part of the Diversity Festival. It's exciting, you know, all different races and religions and shapes and sizes and smells and smells. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just nothing personal. But really, isn't it boring when, you know, people try to squeeze in the same mold and pretend to be something that, like, they're so obviously not? You know, like politicians pretending to be human beings? You know, like, okay, it's summer, almost. I mean, it's Miami, and I'm schwitzing, so whatever. I stick a couple of ice cubes in my bra before I came on stage. Meanwhile, Charlie Crist actually refuses to be interviewed without a fan blowing constant cold air on his balls. Okay, ask me anything, he'll ask me anything, I'm up for it. Scary. Reminds me of my old landlord. Don't ask. But seriously, it's, you know, listen, in my case, people pretending, both my parents happen to be Jewish, but they raised me Catholic. True story. But they weren't very convincing, you know? I'm telling you, especially my dad, like, at church, he complained, he kvetched all the way through communion. I can't eat this cracker, it's so dry. Needs a schmear, cream cheese, pickled herring, something. What is this? Father, Jesus was a good Jew. Would it kill you to get me a pickle? It's unbelievable, my dad. But you know, it's stressful faking who you are all the time. It's a lot of pressure, you know? It's like my proudly Jewish mom, you know, she never wanted to do like the Catholic shtick, so she'd get a little passive aggressive, especially at Christmas, because my dad would be like, Liesel, fit in with the Christians, make something Christmassy, a nice fruit cake, you know, or maybe one of those gingerbread men, yeah? She'd go, Bernie, I warn you. If you forced me to make one of those gingerbread men, my gingerbread men would have to be circumcised. So technically, you know, both the cookie and moi are Jewish, but it doesn't matter what group you belong to, you know, you're always going to be judged according to whether you fit into their idea of what's acceptable or not, right? Okay, look, thank you. My therapist, a big round of applause for my therapist in the crowd. I'm acknowledging, I'm not in denial tonight. It's like public confession. Because I know, seriously, like, you know, Jews think that I'm like a Swedish shiksa, right? Yeah, and Swedish shiksas think that I'm like a fake blonde, and fake blondes think I'm a slut. So they kind of like me, you know, they can kind of relate. You know what I'm saying over there? Not pointing at anyone in particular. No, but I love being Jewish. I do. I just have a teensy-weensy problem with some of the rules and rituals written like, you know, thousands of years ago, only by men. You know, just like really bad porn. Right, sir? Seriously, I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what good porn has only male writers? You know, they're always on top. We need balance. We need diversity. Yeah. I mean, look, I do truly love being part of the culture, of our culture, I do, but, you know, just don't make me ship some guy who looks like one of the apostles just to fit in. Right? Well, you know, unless he feeds me chocolate-covered strawberries and buys me a pair of Jimmy Choos, then I'd sit on his face and recite the 5 books of Moses. But hey, you know, maybe that's just moi. And I do realize that if any of my relatives are in the audience, that this very likely will affect my Hanukkah presents, but what are you gonna do? You know? Guess not everybody's ready to hear about my burning bush. One's for you, Charlie Crist. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? People pretending. Listen, we all make fun of cultural stereotypes. We do, whether secretly or in public. Yeah? And generally there is, more than a grain of truth. Like, any Jews in the room? Okay, we get called big-mouthed, pushy Jews, right? But, listen, it's honestly just a reaction to surviving our relatives, because they're always telling us what to do. They never ask, they tell. You'll sit, we'll eat, you'll have a nice time, you'll behave yourself, then my wife will tell you how to dress better so you don't look like a hooker. They don't hold back. And then you get assessed by the Jewish fashion place. Well, I'm telling you, make Joan Rivers look like an angel, which of course she is now. Yeah, Joan. Because Jews are the masters of the backhanded compliment. Like my aunt will, my aunt will be like, "Oh, Franny, that beautiful sweater doesn't make you look fat at all." Mind you, the pants. Oh, and that wonderful dress accentuates all of your curves and your blobbles, but I mean all of them. But what's really scary is then we pass it on to our kids automatically. It's like in our DNA, we don't even realize it's happening. Like my niece, I wanted to console her, but what came out of my mouth was, "Honey, your friends are just jealous because you're prettier than them. You stand out. I mean, look at the nose in Barbara Streisand, and men love her. And yours is bigger than hers, much bigger." Seriously, it's automatic. It's crazy, Luckily, there's always therapy. Yeah? But the thing is, do you know that too much therapy can make you think that you have a condition that doesn't even exist? And it affects everyone and everything. My vibrator developed Parkinson's. Okay, maybe that wasn't such a bad thing. But honestly, the reason that I first came to Miami, because I heard there was this excellent shrink here, so I went to his office to meet him, and he smiled and pointed to the couch, so I poured my heart out to him, but then he didn't say anything, so I said, well, what do you think? Am I a lost cause? Do I need, shock treatment, Prozac, what? And he goes, me, no hablo inglés. Abusive. But sometimes we have more in common with people than even we know, because you already heard about my Jewish Catholic heritage, but what's always confused me is I have this very, non-white woman, tuchus. And for the Yiddish channel, I'm sorry for the phlegm here. There's no phlegm barrier, Carol. Next time we have a show, phlegm barrier for the Jewish comic, please. So I had this very, non-white woman, tuchus, to the point where, after I was performing, this black MC goes, "Hey there, white woman Franny, it's Japan black, hoochie mama, Spanish ass." He goes, somewhere there's a Hispanic or a black woman going, "Hey, who stole my ass? That white bitch Franny stole my ass. Come back here with my ass, senora Franny." But I'm telling you, that MC must have been an ass psychic or something, really. Because just last year, I really found out that I do have Hispanic heritage, Portuguese. Yeah, thank you. On my mama's side, I do all the way back to the Inquisition. So, seriously. But the Inquisition is funny. It's a little warped crowd over here. Bit scary. When you walk by on the way here, did you walk by the Goy Pond? testing the waters. See the level of hostility in this crowd. So, yeah. You know, I realized that the tuchus finally made sense, you know? Because, do you have a tuchus issue too, madam? No? Okay, all right, just wondering. The last joke, the goy joke? Oh, okay. Can you relate? No. Oh, give it up for the Yiddish translator over here, ladies and gentlemen. Goy, for any Gentiles in the crowd, means a non-Jewish person. So koi goy, you know, very clever, very, very clever. So back to the so listen, but seriously, the tuchus finally makes sense, because, you know, listen, I realize, you know, I'm not J-Lo, baby. I'm Julo. That's kind of fun to try that at home. For your like love handles, you feel a lot more sexy. Just if you're trying to pick somebody up. Yeah. So that's truly an excellent thing. How am I doing for time, Ralphie love?
Beautiful.
Yeah? Well, what can I tell you? People pretending is a crazy thing. But I already told you, my papa, you know, complaining. And that was just a tiny dose. My dad, I mean, God love him, but my father complained so much that Jehovah's Witnesses stopped coming to our house. No, seriously. Because even then he couldn't see and listening to me, because he competes. It's like his hobby, you know? You know how they say, like, the world is coming to an end or something? My dad goes, "You're telling me? I have so much gas. Both Chevron and Exxon are bidding on my ass. And my hemorrhoids are falling faster than gas prices, and they're down to my ankles. My testicles, would you come back here, Jehovah's Witnesses people there? I haven't finished complaining yet." He loves it. It's like a sport. Absolutely loves it. Oh, my dad, it was hard as a kid though, you know, because my dad survived the war. And you know, most parents like sing, you know, cute nursery rhymes to put their kids to sleep. Right, Brian Kirk?
Oh, yes.
Well, wish you'd been my papa. Not in that way either. But because, you know, my dad sang us, "Itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the Messerschmitts and washed the spider out." Everybody sing! Up come the sun and dried out all the rain, and itsy bitsy spider moved to America and changed his name. Thank you for clapping at my abuse. And then he was like, "Night night, sweetie, sweet dreams." And he wondered why I was scared of spiders. Ugh, unbelievable. But you know, listen, nobody's perfect. So what do? We lie. We pretend we are. You know, like my ex. His online dating profile, so full of it, so full of it. But you know, we're still friends. So I said, listen, you want to meet someone who really wants to be with you, tell the truth, you know? Keep it short and sweet, like emotionally repressed, lives in big house, job ending soon. And he was like, "Oh yeah, like, you know, who could get a date with a profile like that?" And I said, "Obama." Such a workaholic, my ex. You know, workaholics, ugh. You know, he's an auctioneer, but he couldn't separate himself from his work, you know, like not even in the bedroom. You know, he'd be like, "Do you want to just stick it in now, stick it in here, stick it in there, stick it in everywhere? You're coming once, you're coming twice, you're coming 3 times, sold!" So romantic. Yeah, well, we all do the best we can. Humans, though, you know, sometimes don't you just want to be around your pets, your cuddly pets? You know, and I bought a parrot. Yeah, it was a rescue. She's a rescue from a pretty bad neighborhood. But you know, that's that's funny? This crowd. Oh my God. I tell you. Have a little more wine. But you know, even with pets, sometimes the love you give, it just isn't enough, you know, because to this day, instead of going, Polly want a cracker? She goes, Polly want a crack whore! Polly want a crack whore! Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, right? Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. What are you gonna do? So, you know, yeah, the thing is, you know, not everybody's a good match, whether, you know, with your pets or human beings, you know. I mean, try as hard as you might, you know, you like, you know, try as hard as I might, I mean, to be funny or cute. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get, like, huge laughs out of, you know, the KKK, right? But who knows, with the right attitude, I might just get them to wear polka dot sheets. That's something, as my mom would say, that's something. Besides, I don't give a fuck what they think of me, since they tried to hire me to perform at one of their events, and then told me to wear something flammable. Well, that's not exactly true. No, they did ask me to wear something flammable, but when they sent the request, their letterhead had one of the K's whited out, so it only said KK. And, you know, I thought they were the Krispy Kreme people. Yeah. You know, until I realized that, you know, there is no Krispy Kreme in, you know, Buckafucka Hollow, Mississippi. Right? Yeah. But listen, hey, no matter how, you know, mean people can be to you or mean your pets are to you, you can't be their bitch. Right? You can't. Like, I mean, victim schmictum, am I right? Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a child of Holocaust survivors, you know. We laugh at everything. I come from a hearty stock, my friends. So let me leave you with this fuck you to terrorists everywhere. So there's this story that we tell in my family, you know. There's this guy in one of those cattle cars going to concentration camp, and he goes, well, I guess first class was full. What? Too soon? Thank you so much. A lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Sheridan. That was so awesome, Franny. I'm getting my DNA done, and I swear to God, I hope it comes back Jewish. Especially in December. My family expects me to eat a pig they cooked in a hole in the ground. Feh. Once, just once, I'd like to go for Chinese food and a movie like a normal person. And the thing about pork in the Cuban community is that it is the meat by which the deliciousness of all other meats must be measured. This steak is delicious. Parece un lechon. It's just like pork with this chicken. Delicious. Just like pork. It's turkey. Delicious turkey. It's just like pork. If you are dating a Cuban person and you want to get in good with the family, when they invite you to dinner, no matter what they feed you, even in the rare possibility that they might actually feed you tofurkey, this is what you say. Mrs. Rodriguez, this tofurkey is delicious. I could swear it was pork. You're in! You're in! You're in! Oh, and don't start with me with that damn tree. First of all, it's got nothing to do with Jesus, the Christmas tree. It's something we inherited from our pagan ancestors. That's not the problem for me. I mean, if you want to invite me to get naked and dance around a phallic symbol on the winter solstice, I'm in. But let's do it outside. Do we have to bring that thing inside the house? It's March already. I'm still sweeping up needles. And then you could do the fake one. Sure, you could do the fake one. That's all fun and games in December. It's so pretty. Look at it. It's almost like real. And then January comes around. You gotta take that damn thing down, and you're looking at it, you're thinking, darn it, I gotta take that thing down. Wait a minute. That's a giant toilet brush with balls. What were we thinking? What were we thinking? Right about now, 8 little candles, starting to look really good. Really, really good. I'll let you know when the results come in. They may get FedExed right here tonight, you never know. I'll let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome a man who is tall, dark, handsome, and so talented that if I believed there was a snowball's chance in hell that I could ever grow up, I would want to be him when I grow up. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jamal Hattar!
I met them, him and Brian were coming out of the hair club for men. And I started doing this because I'm mean. I have that mean streak in me, you know. I don't know where I got it. And I look at them and say, you know, it's really funny. By the way, let me start this way. I'm politically incorrect. And if you're constipated, I suggest you take something. With those jokes, I have entertained the troops. I have entertained the Navy Ball. So please don't get offended. If you do get offended, the problem is you don't understand what comedy is. With this said, let me pick on those infidels now. You know, I see a gay guy, another gay guy, man, married or not married. You know, I look at those people and say, you know, I feel so lucky because Muslims rank 4th in hate crime in this country, after the Jews, the blacks, and the gays. Isn't that awesome? What the hell do we have to do to get first place? I would like somebody to tell me, man. I find it offensive that we can't get that first place, man. And you know, like, what really, like, homophobes bother me the most. Like, because it's really the worst kind of racism. It's not a race, but it's the worst kind of prejudice, because even in your own race, you hate the fuckers. Like, you see the white people, they hate the blacks, they hate everybody, and then when there is a white gay guy, they hate him too. I mean, to be hated by your own people is a horrible thing. I think we all need to learn how to accept each other and say, live and let live. Okay? But since I'm not here to preach, let me tell you about myself. My name is Jamal Hattar. I'm from Palestine. That's Palestine, not Pakistan. In case you went to public school. Pakistan, that's 7-Eleven. I'm from Palestine, that's 9-11. Oh, it got quiet. Actually, my mother's from Palestine. She's from Nazareth. I never met my father. Neither did she. That's how women from Nazareth do it. My father's from Jordan, they met in Iraq. I was born in Saudi Arabia, I grew up in Afghanistan. You're still here, right? We're gonna have a good time, man. I went to Pakistan to start my comedy career. I bombed so much, they gave me a scholarship to the United States. To Miami. Your government is, I'm sorry, I wasn't planning to use foul language, but your government is fucked up. I mean, how How do you bring a kid from the Middle East straight to Miami? First, you send him to Ohio, where the women are ugly. Youngstown, Ohio. 6 months in Youngstown, you know what I'm talking about. Then you work your way down. 3 months at a time. Even when you get to Florida, Jacksonville. 3 months in Jacksonville. Then you come to Miami, man. I thought I died and went to heaven. I was like, boobs. You know how many boobs I've seen before I came to Miami, including breastfeeding days? 1. My mother had 2, but I saw them like this. And I come to Miami and that stuff was like, I went to the beach every single day. My cousin is like, Jamal, why you go to the beach so much? I'm like, I'm homesick. I miss the sand. You know, I did get homesick. Parts of me wanted to go back home, but private parts wanted to stay in Miami. I even looked down and said, don't worry, buddy. I will always stand behind you. Literally, right? After being in Miami for a while, I called my cousin back home, Muhammad. Okay, all my cousins are Muhammad. One of the Muhammad cousins. Even my sisters are Muhammad. I mean, everybody's Muhammad. I called my cousin Muhammad and my cousin said, Jamal, where are you? I said, in paradise, cuz. I didn't even have to die, man. You can quit that Al-Qaeda shit and come over here. You can have 72 women in a week. And my cousin is like, actually, by the way, for you guys to know, in case you've been living in a cocoon or something, you can have 87 women in one night. Just go to Tutsis. And they're diversified. They even have it from Russia, Albania, you name it. And my cousin is like, are they virgins? I said, I don't think so, because I don't think they're born that way in this town. You know? Yeah, but when I first came to Miami, I was learning Spanish thinking I'm learning English. I learned Spanish in 3 months. By the way, I'm not a quick learner. I had a Cuban girlfriend. They don't shut up. Like she would be on the phone 2 hours at the time, on the phone. One time she hung up in half an hour. I said, what's the rush, sweetheart? She said, wrong number. So, by the way, if you want to learn Russian, get Rosetta Stone. Still get a Cuban girlfriend. But if you want to learn Spanish, just get a Cuban girlfriend, man. Just a few months you learn it. But I wasted like 3 months of not learning the language. I want to start college. I started Miami-Dade, learning English 101, English 102. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. What the hell is that story about? I read it 6 times, man. They made me read the book. I mean, I read the Cliff Notes. I read everything. I still don't know what that story is about. I love educated crowd because you can say it and they know what you're talking about. Especially older educated crowd, you know. Older, I didn't say old. I'm politically incorrect, but not stupid. You know, I started Miami-Dade taking English 101, English 102. I made some new friends. One day at 4:20 in the afternoon, one of my new friends, Manolo, he says, hey, Jamal. I said, what's up, buddy? He said, you want to smoke some shit? Hell no. I said, man, this is good shit. I said, you have some dignity, man. Shit is shit. I don't care what acid came out of, man. I'm not smoking shit. I said, no, man, it's not real shit. I said, what is it? He said, marijuana. I said, so why the hell do you tell me shit? He said in English, which I didn't know, you can use the word shit to mean different things. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. I said, come on, man. He said, like, for example, you're the shit. I said, fuck you, man. He said, no, you're the shit is a good thing. Like, you're great. You can even say, I feel like shit when you're feeling sick. It's hot as shit. It's cold as shit. Pass me the shit. I'm like, you're shitting me. Let's go smoke some of that shit, and we're walking away to smoke some shit, right? One of his friends says, hey, Manolo, where are you going? Manolo said to get fucked up. He said that, I knocked him to the ground. I said, buddy, I heard about you Americans, man. I heard about you. I don't see any women. I could smoke all the shit in the world and there's not going to be any fucking. None of that fucked up shit. He goes, no man, why you hit me? Get fucked up means get high, get stoned. I'm like, oh, is that like the shit word? He said, yeah. So I grabbed my books and dictionary and said, fuck this shit. Now I speak English. That was my graduation day, you know. You know, by the way, you keep telling people who come into this country late or older, learn English. Take it easy. It's not like you have the best language in the world. Your language is so messed up. Even your spelling is so bad. It's like whatever English royalty made mistakes, it became your language. Like no rules. Tomb, comb, bump, the same spelling. How the hell are we going to learn that? I'm in class, 19 years old. I'm not gullible. N-O is no. The teacher. N-O-W is now. K-N-O-W is no again. I'm 19, man. You're gonna show me how did this happen. The W came in, it became like cow. No. Okay, awesome, I read cow. Awesome. But that K came out of nowhere, changed everything, and didn't make a sound. I raised my hand, and the teacher is like, what's up? I said, what just happened? He said, what? I said, that kid. What did he just do? No, I said, you don't understand. He said, exactly. I said, no, the K is a silent letter. I said, oh my God. Wow, because in Arabic, we have 100 of those letters. We don't write the shit down. Silent letter, why do you want to write it down? So it's not easy. All I'm saying, it's not easy for us to learn English. My kids won spelling bee contests. So it's not like genetic. It's just your language is messed up. That's all I'm saying. Give us time, you know. You know, I'm growing up in the Middle East, like people tell me, you know, Arab men are chauvinistic. They teach women, they treat women like objects. I say, you know, American men are the exact opposite. They treat objects as women. Hey, they treat their car better than their wife. I am not kidding here. Okay, you hear the guy say, honey, leave the Rolex at home. The area we're going to is not too safe. Really? So why the hell are you taking your wife? It's like you want to protect the watch, right? But you know, chauvinistic could be in the genes, truly, because my son was 4.5 years old. And my wife was drawing something, and she was using, drawing lines. So she goes, where's my ruler? And my son points to me and said, he's right there. Oh my God. The trouble he got into for there. You know, my kids are, having kids is the greatest thing in the world. I have 2 beautiful kids. and one ugly one. Ugly people come from somewhere. I'm responsible for one. But you know something? You almost love them the same. Almost, but it's not easy. Like, you try, you know. Like, I take the pretty one shopping, right? We go to Macy's. She takes me to the petite section. She tries on a dress. It looks so gorgeous on her. I tell her, get it. But Dad, it's $150. Just get it, sweetheart. But Dad, I'll wait till it's on sale. When it goes on sale, they might not have your size. It looks so good on you. Just get it. Okay, you take the ugly one. She puts her dress on. Tough love is looking her up in the eye and saying, sweetheart, let's go to Barnes & Noble. You need the education more than this dress. I told you I'm kind of mean. I once gave a homeless guy a fake $20 bill. That's the kind of mean I am. Okay. Oh look, he deserved it. I was walking downtown, there was a guy in front of me, and he asked the guy for $1. He didn't give him anything. I get there, he asked me for 25 cents. He said, can you spare a quarter? Isn't that insulting? I said to him, I just heard you ask the guy for $1. You just asked me for a quarter. Why? He said, because you look like Einstein. I'm like, really? You mean I look Jewish? He said, yeah. I said, racist, homeless guy. In your own race, I told him, you're at the bottom, man. How can you be racist? Then I remembered somebody at the restaurant gave me a fake 20. So I said, look, give me $10, I give you a 20. I'm meaner than you think, huh? He gave me 8 singles. He got 4 of them out of his socks. I didn't care. And 8 quarters. 8 quarters is $2 plus $8, that's 10. I turned around and walked away, and I felt like shit. I really felt bad. I just screwed the homeless guy. I mean, it's not like something you can stand in a room full of people and tell them. Okay. Then I ran into another homeless guy. I said, how about them blacks? I said, what do you mean, how about them blacks? We're here in the street. We live under the bridges. We're all the same out here. His words really touched him. I reached in my pocket. I gave him a quarter. I made $9.75. When they say land of opportunity, right? You know, any Cubans in the audience? Any Cubans? Okay, good. Yeah, because I hate to talk behind your back. You know, when I first came to Miami, I thought Cubans were the cheapest people in the world.
No.
That's what I thought, my first impression of Cubans. I go to get a driver license, I see 5 guys sharing a cup of coffee. The cup is this small. 5 men, grown-ass men, pouring it into thimbles, passing the thimbles around. I look at my cousin and say, hey, cuz, what are those guys drinking? He said, coffee. I said, how expensive is that shit? It's like 49 cents. I said, who are those people? He said, Cubans. I said, Cuban Jews? The Jewish Arab thing has to come in, you know. I was born Jewish, by the way. I'm sorry, I would like to tell you, I was born Jewish. We were very, very poor. All we could afford is the Old Testament. We saved up some money and bought a New Testament, right? Thank God for Jesus, man. By the way, guys, you are not the chosen people. You have 613 commandments. I asked him about that new religion. It's like, how many commandments do you have? 10? No, really, 10? Wow, I could break those in one day. I said, can you eat beef? Yeah. Can you eat pork? Yeah. Can you eat cheese? Yeah. Can you put them together and eat them? Yeah. Can you eat shellfish? Yeah. Can you wear low-cut dresses? Yeah. Can you show your hair? Yeah. Can you wear thongs? Yeah. Can you drink? You can drink during Mass. How awesome is that? I'm like, this religion seems good, there's got to be a catch. How many times a day do I have to pray for this religion? Once a week. For how long? 1 hour. How early? At 7. And if you miss it, 8. And if you miss it, 9. We even have a matinee. I'm like, this religion is too good to be true, you know. Let me ask you something. One final question. Not that I wouldn't do it. How much of my penis do I need to cut for this religion? He said nothing. He said, count me in, you know. But you know, growing up in the Middle East is so different. Like I hear people, you know, kids here complaining. When I was a little kid, life was not easy. But I remember when my birthday came. On my 15th birthday, I got my first transportation, a camel. It was awesome. It was a single hop. My dad had a family sedan. They named me like, I used to call it mini cam. I loved it. It was 200 camel power. It was beautiful. But one thing about my camel, it was the sexiest camel in town. It was so sexy you could stare at its toes for hours. It's traveling. For those of you who didn't get it, my camel had vagina toes. You know, I was that camel toe thing. I'm at Miami-Dade again. Now you got it. The camel toe thing, you know. I was at Miami-Dade, and I'm standing with a couple of guys, and this girl is passing by, and one of the guys from El Salvador say, look at the camel toe on that girl. Okay. The Cuban guy turned, I turned, the Cuban guy said, wow. I said, wow, I didn't know what I was wowing about. I was too embarrassed to ask a Cuban and a Salvadorian about camel toe. This is humiliating. I go home, I pick up the phone, call my cousin, and say, Muhammad, what's a camel toe? A woman was walking by and somebody said, look at the camel toe. What's the camel toe? He explained it to me. I'm like, oh my God, all those years we had masturbation material and we didn't know. It was right in the backyard. You know, millions of Arabs, thousands of years, millions of camels, we never noticed the camel toe. Until they brought a camel to the Atlanta zoo, and some redneck looked at it and said, Jim Bob, don't this look like my sister? Let me switch it a little bit. Like I said earlier, I'm married for over 30 years. I love my wife, and I'm man enough to stand in a room full of strangers and say, I love my wife. The same wife for 30 years. And I don't plan on leaving her. She might leave me, but I don't plan on leaving her. And now I'm going to make the guys in this room, especially the ones married to Jewish women, and we know how strong they are, the women. You're going to get so jealous. My wife, I hit the jackpot. People say, how can you be married that long with all those Colombian girls with the butt face, the boobs, looking for a green card, with all those women looking for a sugar daddy? I can't be a sugar daddy, I'm diabetic. I can be a explain daddy, but that's just about it. So I'm like, look, I hit the jackpot. My wife doesn't know how to fight. Who would leave a woman who doesn't know how to fight? You have to be stupid. You know how my wife fights with me? She stops talking to me. How most awesome thing in the world, man. The first time she raised her voice at me, you know what I said to her? You know something, sweetheart, I'm looking at you. You know that man makes you look fat? She zipped it up, and I've been enjoying it ever since. You know, don't get me wrong, we don't fight that much. Like last month, we had 2 fights. One for 14 days, and the other one for 14 days. February is only 28 days. But the reason we fight, truthfully, the reason we fight, ladies, like you ladies are liars. I'm sorry to say that to your face. You are big liars. Because they ask women, what do you look for the most in a guy? Match.com, JewishSingles.com, Christian mingle, having sex under the eyes of God.com. Muslim women, stay away from that one, by the way. It could blow up in your face. That kind of relationship, you don't want it. They ask the same question. 90% of the people say, sense of humor. Bullshit. Because every guy in this room knows that most of the arguments start with sense of humor. You ladies say something, we make a joke, and you come back, oh, everything is a joke to you. You never take anything seriously. My feelings don't count. Ladies, what happened to sense of humor? Maybe sense of humor means a big thing and a lot of money, because everybody knows you guys can't take a joke. You ladies cannot take a joke. Like my wife wakes up 4:30 in the morning. I'm on Facebook. She looks at me with her bedroom eyes because we were in the bedroom. I even had bedroom eyes. And she goes, you know, Jamal, you love the computer more than you love me. And I'm thinking, you know, women love a sense of humor. Make a joke. I said, but I love you more than the printer. Really? What happened to I love a sense of humor? I don't know. She goes, aren't you coming to bed? I said, no, I'd rather poke you on Facebook. She's still not talking to me. Sense of humor. A beautiful woman walked by. Gorgeous, wearing what, had a rag holding the dress up. Like, she even had a cross, and you can see Jesus holding on like this. I mean, gorgeous. She was wearing a dress I call the style insurance, because it doesn't cover shit. And okay, my wife noticed, and for a second I looked, I'm respectful usually, I just noticed her. She goes, would you sleep with her? Ladies, please stop testing us. Did we ever pass a test? In all the years, did he ever pass one of those tests? No way. We cannot pass the test, but you still test us. We fail. Don't ask us hypothetical questions and get really mad. It's not fair. So I said, you know, she likes a sense of humor. I said, no, sweetheart, I would take a nap. Nap is like a quickie. So she started getting mad. I said, no, sweetheart, I wouldn't sleep with her. I would stay up all night. She made sure I stayed up all night for like 3 nights in a row. She was sleeping during the day. And women, they're predictable, guys. How often do women PMS? I'm not talking about bloody whatever. Premeditating something. How often do women premeditate stuff? Guys, if you don't say all the time, you are naive, man. You don't know nothing about women. They premeditate everything, guys. Everything they ask you, premeditated. They prepare the question, and they have practice. They heard how their father used to answer the question, how their brothers answer the question. They know. Like when you're sitting down at home doing nothing. What's the most annoying question that women ask guys all the time? Every woman, no, not that. Something more annoying. What are you thinking? Right? What are you thinking? And the retarded men, as you ladies think of us, what do the retarded men say? Nothing. Thank you. Thank you. The lady said it. Nothing. Guys, you are ashamed to your gender. How the hell can you say nothing to a question like that, knowing that she's ready for you? She's standing, like my wife is in the kitchen. She's saying, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna ask him, what are you thinking? He's gonna say nothing. Then I'm gonna say, you never like to share your feelings with me. We're married, but I feel alone. Marriage is about communication. When was the last time you communicated with me? She's laughing because every woman has done that. Guys, don't be stupid. Learn something tonight. Premeditate shit. That's what is called romance. You can turn situations around. I'm sitting down, I'm like, by the count of 7, she's gonna be here. 1, 2, 3, I was wrong. 4, she was there. She looked at me with that, what are you thinking face? And she's like, what are you thinking? I said, about the second time I kissed you. Then he started getting weak. But as a woman, she still wants to pick it up. Maybe I can recover, right? Like she won't admit defeat. And she's like, why not the first time? The first time I didn't know how good it was gonna be. BJ, turn it around. I come home, I walk into the house. You know, when she tells you be home at 7, she's cooking, she's preparing. Guys, if you cannot make it by 7, don't say that you're gonna be home by 7. Because the devil is working. She's preparing. If he's not here at 7, 5 minutes to 7, I'm gonna eat. And then when he gets here, I'm gonna say, I lost my appetite. Because ladies, come on, I have you figured out. She's laughing. I have you figured out. If you lost your appetite, every time you're mad at us, your ass will be getting smaller the longer you're mad. You're always mad at us. So, you're coming home late, she's prepared. He's gonna walk in the door and she's gonna throw it at him, you know? Like, if you get home, like I'm on my way home, my car broke down, I had a flat tire, I get out, it was raining, my phone fell in the rain, I couldn't call her. I get home an hour late, I walk in, she opens that door ready with that lecture. I looked so miserable, she relaxed. They call that love, guys. I don't know. I'd rather you be miserable than having a good time. That's love. You know, one time I get home, I open the door, she looked at me, she looked tired, she goes, you know, Jamal, if I got paid for all the housework I did over the past 30 years, I would have $620,000. I looked at her and I said, bitch. By the way, if you've been to black poetry rooms, bitch is poetry. I said, bitch, you calculated that number. Like you took a wage, time a week, a day, hours, whatever, years, and you came up with 620,000. I hope you paid taxes on that. You didn't say $1 million. $1 million, I let it go. But you computed that thing. Let me ask you something. If I charge you rent for all the time you spent in my heart over the past 30 years, who would owe who money? Blowjob? You can turn situation around, you know. How much time we have? Okay. You know, I used to drunk. Not drink, drunk. Okay? I used to drink that Johnny Walker Black, which is misleading advertising. Should be Johnny Wheelchair. You know, I look down, my wife is there, I say, I wonder how miserable my life would have been without you. My wife said, who's talking, you or the scotch? I said, it's me talking to the scotch. Stay out of it. You don't understand, I'm the curious type of drinker. I used to be like, if I saw a bottle of, let's say, whiskey, I say, I wonder who put that bottle there. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. That's the kind of drinker I was. That day I drank so much, and my son goes to me and said, Dad, how does it feel when you're really, really drunk? I said, you see those 3 women over there? It would seem like 6 of them. I said, Dad, there's only 1 woman there. I said, son, take your twin brother and get me a drink each. You know, that day I drank so much, I couldn't walk. So I drove home. What am I supposed to do? You know? Like, by the way, that thing about you cannot drink and drive, don't forget this is comedy. The thing about you cannot drink and drive, that's not true. Like, okay, you're drunk, you get in the car, you're trying to keep the car straight. Everything's going fine until that cop comes behind you. He knows you're drunk, he puts the lights on, he puts sirens. Well. How the hell can you drink and drive under those circumstances? That day I got home, I sneaked into bed 5:30 in the morning. But when I woke up, I hear my wife singing. I'm like, she's in the kitchen singing. And she's singing like the worst song I could hear. I will survive, I will survive. I'm like, shit, she's leaving. It's like, oh, I go downstairs, she goes, good morning, sweetheart. I said, good morning. I said, what are you doing? She said, your favorite breakfast. I said, what time did I get home? She said, 5:30 in the morning. I said, was I drunk? She goes, you were so wasted. I don't know how you made it home. I said, now I'm confused. Why are you so happy? Did we do anything? Was I that good? She goes, I tried, but you pushed me away and said, stay away from me, bitch, I'm married. Premeditate shit even when you're drunk. Always be ready, okay? Don't let her take you by surprise, you know? I'm going to switch it a little bit. I have one of my friends, Mohammed. I'm stuck. Actually, you know what's funny? One time I get home late, and my wife says, where were you? I said, with Mohammed. I go in to take a shower. She grabs my phone. She calls 10 Mohammeds on my phone. And they all said I was with them. Even one in the Bahamas, I was with him too. She was like, I can't believe this. All your friends said you were with them. She said, I can never get the truth. I said, the truth, I was with Muhammad. You know? But like, by the way, guys, if you ever get caught, deny, and promise not to do it again. Because women are like the police. No matter how much evidence they have, they want a confession. They want you to confess to it. So just deny. But women are not the same as guys. Like us guys, if we had a fight and we met 2 years later, we'd be like the best of friends. Remember the fight we had? Women would hate forever. You ladies are vicious, you know. Like, you give each other up. Men, we don't give men up. So don't ever try to get information on your guy from another guy. And this guy comes up to me and said, Jamal, Mohammed comes up to me and says, you know, my wife is cheating on me. I said, I don't think so, man. He said, I'm telling you, she's cheating on me. I said, why do you say that, man? He said, my wife, I went on a trip, but my wife had somebody follow her, and she had pictures. Here's my wife at Gatsby playing pool with the guy. Here's my wife at the beach with the guy. Here's my wife dancing at mansion with the guy. I said, man, like every other guy, I bet you didn't know that your wife was that much fun, did you? That's the lesson, right? Women love that shit. They will say that. Most guys don't know that their wife can be as much fun as the girlfriend, if you just give it a chance, you know? Now I'm getting preachy. Maybe I get a chance of any widows in the audience? No, when I was standing outside, this cougar was hitting on me. Actually, by the way, at my age, when I say cougar, it's more like saber-tooth. Because at my age, a cougar is my age. It was horrible. I'll never flirt with a younger girl again. I mean, I think it's not fair. Let's go back to the Middle East, right? You know, the worst thing, like, things were going okay in this country for us until 9/11. When 9/11 happened, it has been a disaster. You know, we were comfortable. It was so awesome. Then 9/11 happens. You know, the day it happens, while it's happening, one of my friends, Tyrone, you guess he's black, calls me. Say, hey Jamal. I said, what's up, Tyrone? It's kind of early in the morning. What's up? He said, I was just calling to see if you're okay. I said, what do you mean? He said, are you watching the news? I said, yeah. I'm calling to see if you're okay. I said, son of a bitch. You're calling to see if I'm on one of the planes because the shit is going down up north. Why are you calling me to see if I'm okay? And I got so mad. 3 weeks later, 3 in the morning, I called Tyrone. I said, hey Tyrone. He said, who's this? I said, Jamal. I'm calling to see if you're okay. I said, man, it's kind of late. He said, yeah, I'm calling to see if you're okay. I said, why? What's up? I said, there was a robbery at the 7-Eleven and I saw a black guy running away and I'm calling to see if you're okay. To be stereotyped by a minority feels like shit. So, you know, I was in California, and I'm coming back from California after a night smoking that California medicine. I even had Cialis, because when you get home, your wife thinks you're happy to see her. Things are awesome, and I've been drinking all night. I go to the airport, return the car, now I'm a drunk, horny, and high. And Arab! At an airport. Wrong. On every level. It's like, I'm walking around, I can't control myself. Is it me you're looking for? I have TSA surrounded me. I'm sinking. I get to the area, the security area. I see that Colombian girl from the other joke with the dress. I am high, drunk, and on Cialis, and I look at that girl, and oh my God, Cialis kicks in. I'm too stoned to move my head, too drunk to do anything. And I'm thinking, you know, I wish, like, you know, your government is messed up. We want a line for us only, let everybody else go. We don't mind. Just put the Jews with us. Maybe we can talk it out. And put the Indians. Like the Indians, it's kind of fun to be around them, you know. But just like this us, Indians, Jews, and Arabs. Everybody else, just let them go. You know, it would be nice. But also, your government doesn't care about you. What's the worst thing when you take an X-ray? You know, you get all that poison in your body. The least they could do, give you the results. If they really gave a damn. Right? I get to the thing, I stand in the machine. I said, maybe they let me go, because I've traveled 22 times. I've been randomly selected 28. Okay. The guy told me, come with me. I said, why, sir? He said, you've been randomly selected. I said, like every other time, I wish you run the Florida Lotto. That would be nice. So the guy starts putting his gloves on. I'm like, I had my colonoscopy, and most of the guys in here have had their colonoscopy. And those gloves kind of scary, you know? And like a friend of mine had the colonoscopy at the same time. I told him, that is so gay. He goes, why? You had it. I said, but I didn't go for second and third opinion. It's like, come on, you know? The guy puts his gloves on, and I'm like, sir, can I have a woman search me? He said, why? I said, because I'm gay. He said, no, sorry, I have to search you. So he starts searching me. He feels something. He smiles. When he was done, he gave me his phone number. You know the moral of the story? When you're a traveling Arab, Homeland Security wants to fuck you, one way or the other. I get to the plane, I sit down, I put my music on, real loud with my headset, and a guy pats me on the shoulder. I turn around, 6 foot, 100 inches black guy. You know, one of those guys. Like, they could have made 3 guys. That shows you nature is inefficient. You could make 3 guys out of that guy, and they will all be tough. And he pats me on the shoulder. He said, lower the music. I said, pardon me? He said, I can hear your music from, it's bothering me, lower the music. I'm like, I'm not going to get intimidated by this guy, so I lowered the music. We get on the plane. I'm sitting down, you know, Spirit Airlines, this thing is like, the seats are like that. A guy without an arm walks in. I said, please sit next to it. It's kind of awesome, but he didn't. Who sits behind me? The black guy. 40,000 feet in the air, I put my music on.
Don't open it. Don't open it.
Pats me on the shoulder. Can you lower the music? I stood up, I said, buddy, you're dumb. You're stupid. We're 40,000 feet in the air. Up here, you're in my territory. Sit your ass down, man. Comedy is comedy. Thank you very much, folks. I hope I offended everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamal, come here, I want to ask you a question. I've been dying to ask Jamal this question. Jamal, do you think that people are born gay?
No, they're sucked into it.
My favorite? You're a genius, Jamal. Give it up for Jamal Hattar. The last group of people that I really want to thank is all of you. All of you. You had a choice tonight. You could have sat at home on your Sofia Vergara sectional, watching that horrible Orwellian box. I don't care which network you watch. They all show horrors. But you chose to come here to be part of something that's fun, where we can laugh together at ourselves and each other. And you know what I want to do right now? I want to tell you something that you guys made me decide. I don't care about the DNA results. If the FedEx comes right now with the DNA results, I don't care. I like walking on Lincoln Road, and I like seeing women in hijab. Did I pronounce that right? Hajib? A scarf on their head and saying, my people. I like seeing the Jewish families going to the temple on Saturday and thinking, those are my people. I don't need some science to tell me. You are all my people. You are all my people. Everybody stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, you can do it. You don't have to stand up eventually anyway. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Turn to somebody you don't know. Turn to somebody you don't know, and in the spirit of La Convivencia, say, you are my people. You are my people. Everybody's biscoja tonight. Everybody. Let's thank Brian, Kirk, Frankie Sheridan, all of our wonderful artists, John Botanical.